Now in this section, we'll explore 3 different main tools, you could say. GitHub Copilot Chat, and an IDE called Cursor, which actually builds up on Visual Studio Code, which is a super popular free IDE. And we're going to start with GitHub Copilot, which is an extension you can install in many code editors, for example, also in Visual Studio Code, to get smart, context-aware, AI-generated code completions. You'll see over the next lectures that GitHub Copilot essentially enhances the default IDE auto-completion capabilities which you already have in most IDEs, that it can be triggered and used in different ways, and that it doesn't really require you to write any prompts to work, and you'll see how you can use it to solve concrete problems. Now, it is worth noting that GitHub Copilot is a paid product. It's not available for free, at least not at the point of time where I'm recording this, but it is generally available to everyone who's willing to pay, of course. Now, you can learn more about GitHub Copilot if you simply search for it and you then visit its official website. There, you'll learn more about its features and what you can do with it and how it generally works. And you also learn more about its pricing. So what it costs you to use GitHub Copilot, either as an individual or as a company. There are different plans with different features and different prices, of course. So this is a great page to learn more about GitHub Copilot. You, for example, also learn in which code editors you can use GitHub Copilot. And especially if you scroll down to the bottom, you got some very helpful, frequently asked questions where you, for example, also learn more about the data that's submitted and how that data may be used. So that's definitely also something you might want to check out. Now, in this course section here, I am going to use GitHub Copilot in Visual Studio Code, which is an extremely popular, free-to-use, and highly extensible code editor. And I prepared a little demo project, which you find attached to this lecture, which I'll use to explore GitHub Copilot and show you how it may be used. Now, in order to use it in an IDE like Visual Studio Code, you have to go to the Extensions Marketplace here in Visual Studio Code. And then in that extensions area, you can search for GitHub Copilot. This will then give you this extension, which you can then install into Visual Studio Code. And once you did install this extension, you got some new GitHub Copilot specific commands available, which you can execute inside of Visual Studio Code. And you, for example, got the enable or disable Copilot command available, which allows you to enable GitHub Copilot. And when you do that for the first time, you'll also get a prompt to sign into your GitHub account, because of course GitHub Copilot is a paid feature and therefore it needs to check whether you did pay for it before you can start using it. But with all that, GitHub Copilot will be enabled and is ready to use.